Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America. And hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. And today I'm going to make a trio of cards. But first, I wanted to remind you that we are just about 1 month, maybe 5 weeks away from the new May to August Stampin' Up! Catalog going live to customers. And if you want to be sure to get your hands on a hard copy, which is a beautiful thing, and you aren't already working with a demonstrator who's going to send you a copy, please drop me a line, nancy@nancysniftynotes.com, or go to my website, nancysniftynotes.com, and on the right-hand side, there is a link to request a catalog, and that will have you fill out a form, and I will send you a catalog. I will have them, I'm guessing, early next week. I just put in an order for my catalogs yesterday, so I'd be happy to send one out to you. They have all kinds of neat new things that I will also be able to show you some of next week, or you can go back and watch, was it last week's live where I showed you what I brought back from on stage? But I can't show you the inside of this catalog yet, but you will get to see it soon. So today I am going to be using Notes of Spring, which is the March product of the month. In Australia, if you purchase $125 in one order, you then have the option of adding this on for just $9, which is a great value. In other markets, it's a similar type of value, but the price points are different. And you can do this. There's a new product each month. If there's product left over from a previous month, you also have the option of choosing that one. For each order of $125, you can order one. So, yeah, I got it because it didn't immediately speak to me. I will be honest, it didn't immediately speak to me. But for $9, it's a great value. The sentiments are nice because they're stacked and they're relatively small, but not itty bitty. And I just wasn't sure about the images. But the more I see, the more I like. So I'm glad I have it. And so today we're going to play with it. If you are joining me, hello Paula, thanks for saying hello. If you are here, when you come on, please do say hello so I know who is here. If you're watching on replay, please also say hello. I do like to see who turns up. Yeah, so I have pieces, pre-cut designs ready to go to do 3 cards. So we're going to get started. And I'm going to start with this little duck. And I'm going to stamp it in basic gray. You could use Memento. We do have sorry, I'm just remembering where I want it. We do have a new hybrid black ink pad coming that is supposed to work very well for both watercoloring and alcohol ink, the Stampin' Blends markers. I did not get to try it at on stage, but I did not put it in my first pre-order, but in early April I will definitely do that. Okay, so while I have this out, I'm also going to stamp my sentiment. And with this one, I'm going to use the Happiest Birthday Wishes. I'm just going to stamp this on this strip. I have lots of these strips. They happen to be my offcuts when I cut 2 standard layers out of basic white to keep in my stash. One is 1 layer down from a card base, and one is 2 layers down, and that's from the 2 layers down one. So I'm just going to set that aside for now, and I'm going to bring in my darling duckling. Now this, here we go. This fill stamp, as I call it, I'm going to show you on here, is, you can see it's one of the, what did we call it? Distinctive. So it's kind of a watercolor. It's not a solid fill. And that means we need to be sure that there's not too much ink on the stamp, because it just clogs up all of that etching. So I'm going to, and I got something on my pad there. We're going to take a moment to get that off with the spoon. That's a useful thing. So I'm just pushing ink. We all still have all these foam pads. We will for at least a year, because only the new ink colors will be coming in the new felt pads. So just using a spoon or a bone folder or a knife or something, obviously a dull butter knife type thing, to just scooch the ink back. And I don't know how well you can see, but it's darker in some spots and lighter in others, which is what we want. And I'm just going to try to line that up well with the outline image. There we go. It does not fill in all the way, which is a nice look. Hey Sarah, welcome home. I'm sorry you had to cut your trip short because of the prices. We're not going to get into why the prices have gone up. And hello Gladys, thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm also going to come in with a pumpkin pie Stampin' Blend. I'm going to start with the light, see how I like it. I'm going to color over on the beak there. I want more contrast. There we go. A little darker, I think. There we go. Okay. And I've got my happiest birthday wishes, and I'm going to bring in my little guillotine trimmer. I'm doing my very scientific measurement thing. My text is coming right to the edge of the plastic hold down thing, and that's how I'm getting kind of the same margin on each side. Isn't that scientific? So that's going to go on there. And let's bring in, here are the pieces I cut for my layout. This is the, oh, shoot. Yeah. That's the Florals in Bloom designer series paper. They did 2 designer series papers released at the same time a year ago with almost identical names, and I have yet to keep them straight, so I always go back and check. So yeah, this is how it's going to go on. It's like so. So let's get layering up. Yeah, sadly Sarah and her partner drove their camper van up to Sydney for onstage, and then we're going to go spend basically the rest of March, I think, doing camping holiday up around and back. But at least you got some time away. You got several weeks. This is a good thing. Just trying to figure out exactly where I want all of these. This one on. Morning, Kayla. Oh, I'm sorry your back is bad, but hey, doggy heating pads, they're great. I can't believe you got a third puppy. I'm kind of enjoying the quiet today. Charlie is at kennels for a vet thing. What are they doing? Vaccination of some kind and an eye check. Just checking to make sure there's no eye problems. I didn't know, they just asked me to bring them and I turn up with them. There's that. We missed you at Onstage, Kayla. Do a little glue on the other side here. Let's see if it's straight. It is straight. What do you think? Darling Duckling or Cloud Cover dots? I could do the Timid Tiger too. Which ones? Nobody has an opinion? You like the tiger? Yeah, I think so. Even though that's not exactly the same color, close enough. Oh. That's new. My putty is stuck inside the cap. Must mean it's time for Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining. And I think maybe okay, there is one. Okay. Then the second one, I'm going to use the fawn. And I actually went deep into my stash. This is still current designer series paper. This is Nests of Winter, and it is in the annual catalog that ends at the end of April. And I pulled out some bits and bobs of it. Did a little extra panel here. I know the northeast of the US has a big deer overpopulation, and I learned in the paper on Sunday that here in Victoria we do as well. Actually, certainly in the eastern part of Australia in general we do, and Victoria's problem is that they're refusing to put it on the invasive pests list, and farmers are really unhappy about that. So there's that. And see, this features birds, but we're going to use our fawn, because fawns are cute, even if they are overrunning our regional areas. Okay, let's stamp this one up. And I decided what I was going to use. Here we go. This is Early Espresso, which is the color of the mat there. That's what I'm going to do for the fawn itself. And the rectangles that I'm using, the die cuts I'm using, these are all the second largest rectangle out of the Nested Essentials. And it works for all of them. And for the fill, I'm again going to take a moment and swipe that ink. You don't get the dramatic color shift like we did on the Darling Duckling, but trust me, it is shifting that ink. And this is Gray Granite, which is a really beigey. It's a grayish. And that's the color of my card base and the color of a lot of the Designer Series paper design. There we go. And again, we're going to bring in some of that scrap. And this time I'm going to use the, a little note of thanks. That's how that one is going to go. And take a moment, get everything square on my grid paper so my eye can be more square in my placement. And here we go. These are the earthy matte dots, and I have not used them before. This is retired natural tones linen thread, but it's got the right color here. I was thinking a little bit of this. Do you see what I did there to get it to be less coily? So these are all kind of variations on a theme. I like using the tip of my cap to press on things, because otherwise the tip of my finger starts to hurt after a little while. So there's that one. Oh, this one needs an inside. So like I said, I keep these pre-cut when I can. Make it quick and easy. And I should have stamped or put a little DSP or something in there, but I'm not going to. Because it's just a little note of thanks. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3, I have ready to go here with our little bunny rabbit. This one I haven't quite figured out what color I'm stamping in. Bring in Smoky Slate. I think I want a little more gray than grayish. And again, I'm going to push the ink. I'm going to do tone on tone on this one. There we go. Little gray bunny. And what are we going to do for the sentiment on this one? Now they do have another sentiment, especially for you. I think I'm going to do the birthday one again. Which I should have done before I pushed the ink away, but that's okay. Let's see how this comes out. That'll be right. So Glenn is currently conducting online oral assessments or exam for his class. He's been teaching. This is for the one that he's been teaching on Tuesday evenings for weeks and weeks and weeks now. So this is the layout for this one, and I'm using Kintsugi Inspirations. I like the pastel colors for this one. This is his attempt to thwart AI. He had them do a very brief presentation of a case in writing, and now he's got each person doing a Zoom. I think it's like maybe 10 minutes, where he asks them, where they present it very quickly, and then he asks them, I think, 3 questions and does an assessment of the assignment. And he figures that the 15 minutes in all is about the same as what he would do for a written exam. And it's much harder to use AI in this process. So, okay, so here's this variation. So we'll see what the final assessment is on this process, if he repeats it. Isn't it something that we have to just outthink all of this? Again. I swear they're all right here and I can't find them. There we go. Because they're all stacked on each other. Yes, so I'm deliberately breaking this plane. What do we think? Cloud cover or petal pink? I'm thinking petal pink, something a little brighter. Yeah. I don't want them to look like poop pellets either. Hi, Christine. Thanks for joining me. And I think what I want to do, So I'm bringing in my cloud cover blend. If I had my light one at hand, I would use that probably on this one, but it's downstairs in my class boxes because I've got session 2 of monthly medley today. There we go. Go. Okay, one more. Glue dot. Told you these are all variations on a theme. Don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. Okay, no poop pellets. So, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Now, there are a lot of images that I did not use, or there's a couple of them anyway. This floral and these 2 grasses. But I've seen some other ideas to using those with some of these. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty good way of using these and using up some of my designer series paper. So I hope you will give these a try. Like I said, product of the month, really good value with your minimum spend. It's a nominal cost. And yeah, you can do all kinds of things. And of course, you can mix and match in with other sentiments. Obviously, you can use any suite of papers that you want. So I hope you like that. Remember, this will be my next blog post over at nancysniftynotes.com. They are always the same. The title of the blog post is the same as the title on the video. So if you're watching this either on Facebook or YouTube replay, you can find that title and then search for the blog post if you want. If you have any questions about anything, Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. Reach out to me. I'd be happy to be your demonstrator here in Australia. Or if you're in another market and you need help finding a demonstrator, I've got friends all over the place. I'd be happy to refer you to somebody. So please join me again, same time. Yes, still same time, same place next week. I think in 2 weeks my clocks will have changed, but I will post that on the website, on the blog post coming up to it, and on Facebook when that is changing. You know, I give you a heads up about that. So I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.